Hello, everyone. It is Rory here at that Eurovision site. We are continuing on with our interviews for Festival de Canção 2025. And in this interview, I am joined by the lovely Luca Argel, who will be hopefully trying to represent Portugal at Eurovision 2025 with Pri Azevedo, with their song Quem Foi. Muito bem-vindo a esta entrevista, tudo bem?
Tudo bem, Rory?
Uh,
Oh, I'm surprised now. You speak Portuguese?
Sim, sim, falo português, mas não é tão bom. Então,
Ah,
so
very
apo
good.
apologies if my Portuguese is a little bit terrible. So,
No, it's great. My English is kind of rusty, I believe. I've tried. I don't speak English for some time now. It will be the first time in I don't know a couple of years.
oh, well, so far it's perfect. So don't worry about it. Muito
Okay,
perfeito.
okay. Ótimo.
Fantastic. So yeah, you will be taking part in Festival de Canção 2025 with Pri Azevedo. And I mean, what was your reaction to sort of being approached by RTP as someone who should write a song for Festival de Canção?
Yes, well, my first reaction was to, I don't know, freak out a little bit. I was overwhelmed by the invitation. Although it was not exactly a big surprise because I was in Festival da Canção last year at 24
Hmm.
but not as a writer or interpreter. I was invited to do a small part in a special number on the final of Festival da Canção. It was a celebration of the 50th anniversary of the Portuguese Carnation Revolution, the end
Yeah.
of the dictatorship in Portugal in 74. And they invited me to sing a song of a Brazilian composer, Chico Buarque, that wrote about the revolution. It's a beautiful song. And they wanted to have a Brazilian musician to sing this song, and they invited me. So I already had this connection with Festival da Canção. I get to know all the people that work there and kind of breathe the air of the event. And since then, I started to imagine how would it be if I was invited one day to participate in the festival,
Hmm.
to write for the festival, and then this the invitation came 1 year after. So I was kind of hoping for that, but when it happens, it's always a shock.
Yeah, and it's a nice surprise as well, obviously knowing that like, you wanted to sort of represent like the Brazilian sort of side of things as well, of course. And you say yourself, you're sort of both Portuguese and Brazilian in terms for your roots in that. So how important is it
Yeah.
to sort of sing like with these sort of Brazilian roots? Because I mean, even you sing in your song King for you sing in Brazilian Portuguese.
Yes, yes, I sing in Brazilian Portuguese, but I couldn't do it otherwise. My Portuguese accent, my European Portuguese accent is terrible. I don't dare trying to do to be like a Portuguese born musician. It's part of my identity to be both Brazilian and Portuguese. I'm a Portuguese citizen. I've been living in Portugal for more than 10 years, and the Portuguese culture is very present in my work, in everything that I write. Uh, I have worked and collaborated with many Portuguese artists that I admire very much, and it is a special place to be, to be embedded in Portuguese culture, to live in Portugal, but preserving all my Brazilian roots, all my Brazilian heritage that that I was brought up with. It's part of me, and I wanted to bring it to this to this song, to
Hmm.
sing about it, to sing about specifically the experience of being a Brazilian immigrant in Portugal. That's what this song is about. It's very personal, but also very I don't know. It's kind of this experience of immigration is very present in Portugal, and I think in all European countries
Hmm.
today. It's part of Europe. Immigration is a very important part of Europe today in many different aspects, and I wanted to sing about it and like make a statement about who I am and who I represent, both in and out of Portugal.
Yeah, definitely. And it's kind of interesting as well because obviously last year when Leo Midea obviously also participated, he
Yeah,
is also Brazilian.
yeah.
And he
We're
when
from
he
the
was
same city.
performing,
He's also
we
from
we
Rio.
obviously spoke to him as well last year, and he said that he had received a bit of criticism because he had said, like this is a European, it's a Portuguese festival, why are we letting Brazilian people in? Have you felt any sort of similar backlash from people yet?
Well, not yet. I know it's happening on YouTube, but I didn't read the comments yet.
Yeah.
So so I'm not completely aware of it, but I was absolutely prepared for this kind of reaction because I have seen what happened with Leo last year. Leo is a dear friend of mine. We're from the same city.
Oh,
We're from
wow.
we're from Rio, yeah. And I have known him since he arrived. I arrived a little bit earlier than him in Portugal, and he's amazing. He's a very, very gentle and lovely guy, and he does beautiful music. I was very glad that he went very far on last year on Festival da
Yeah.
Canção. People appreciated very much his song, and there was this expected backlash of intolerance, which is part of our what I was talking about, that part of the immigrant experience,
Yeah.
unfortunately. And it is I'm expecting to receive this backlash online especially, but what really matters is the feedback that I'm receiving from my immigrant friends that listen to the music. This is way bigger than all the other comments that I could eventually receive, because I have already heard from friends and from people that I don't really know, that have listened to the music and felt really embraced by it and acknowledged by it as persons that live outside of their home country and suffer a lot, feel very lonely, feel not appreciated by the other people. It can be a very hard experience, and for some people that are right now having this experience and listen to this song, I have received feedback from them that it was a kind of relief and a feeling of being in some way listened also through my music, that it in a way represented what they feel. And this is beautiful. This is exactly the reason why I write music, is to create this kind of connection between people. And it's happened. It already happened. The festival haven't even begun, and it's already happened because the music is out there, and I already feel deeply rewarded by the feedback of these people, and it's more than enough for me.
Absolutely fantastic. It's great to hear that, the support is way, way bigger than all of the haters and everything.
Yeah,
We don't need those kinds of things, isn't
yeah,
it?
yeah.
Um, so yeah, let's talk about the song then. So like obviously you're working together with Priya Azevedo. I mean, how did you guys come together and how did you sort of compose the song? And I mean, of course, you've mentioned the fact that, the song kind of talks a little bit about sort of immigration and that sort of feeling, but you know, it's the overall message is to almost like a sense of like sort of melancholy, but also sort of sense of hope in there too.
Yes, that's exactly that. And talking about Pri, Pri is it's actually funny. Pri is the older sister of a very dear and close friend of mine from school.
Aha.
I've studied
Wow.
with Pri's younger sister since I don't know fourth grade.
Oh my God.
We studied together for a long time. We are great friends, and I knew that this friend of mine, she's called Bianca. I knew that Bianca's older sister was a pianist. I have always heard about Pri, but I it took some time until I finally met her. Uh,
Right.
when I was a teenager, we studied in the same music school, but she was a couple of years ahead of me, and I met Pri again many years later in Porto,
Oh
where I live
wow.
here in Portugal because she had just moved to Portugal some years after I had moved to. So
Isn't that so strange? It's the shared experience again, isn't it?
yes, yes, it's crazy. And then I invited Pri to play in my band. I wanted to have some keyboards in my band, and Pri, besides piano and keyboards, she also plays the accordion, and she joined my band, and we played a lot together. And last year we recorded an album together, just the two of us, with piano and voice, just piano and voice. And this is exactly the moment when I received the invitation from Festival.
Aha.
So it was kind of natural. It was a natural decision to invite Pri to come with me because we were already working together. She was already writing the arrangements for the songs that we recorded. And then I put this Festival da Canção song along with
Wow.
everything that we were doing together. And she wrote this beautiful. It was my original idea was to use the piano, but she came out with the idea of using the accordion, and I think it kind of reshaped the whole idea and the whole atmosphere of the song. It
Hmm.
became a more melancholy song, but also it also uh, uh, I don't know it reinforced the this relation this musical relation that we have with Brazil, because the accordion is a very, very important instrument in traditional Brazilian music, especially from the northeast of Brazil, which is where Pri comes from.
Ah.
Uh, uh, Pri was born in Bahia.
Oh
She's
yeah.
Baiana, but she moved to Rio when she was a kid. So it is it is funny how this instrument, which is also very important in European traditional music, it is a musical dialogue that she established when she wrote the arrangement of the song. So it is it goes together very well with the message of the lyrics, and we
Yeah.
will play together. We'll be performing together.
It's that feeling of like again going through that shared experience together and being able to present like traditional Brazilian music in a modern way, which I think is it's a fantastic opportunity to do. And what an amazing stage as well to premiere that at. It's fantastic. Um, so let's talk then a little bit about Festival de Canção and Eurovision and that. I mean, how long have you been watching the show? Would you say that you're like a big fan of either Festival de Canção or Eurovision? Like, what memories do you have of that?
Well, I Eurovision is something that I'm still discovering and being overwhelmed by the size that it had. It's really really huge, way
Yeah,
bigger than I anticipated.
it
Uh,
usually is, to be fair.
Yeah, but Festival da Canção is something that I feel more familiar with because there has been a big renovation of the Festival da Canção concept since I believe since 2016, so somewhere around that,
Yeah.
when Salvador Sobral won, when he appeared and won Festival da Canção and won the Eurovision. It was precisely the year when RTP made a big reformulation of the concept of the festival, and it was really really interesting. And since then, I started to follow every year the Festival
Hmm.
da Canção because I I recognize that the the new talents, the new interesting voices of Portuguese music were being invited to write for Festival da Canção and to perform in Festival da Canção, which I believe in the previous year was not happening very much. It was a kind of an old show that needed, new blood, and when
Yeah.
it happened, it became really really interesting to follow. So since that time, I've been following it, and it helped me to discover lots of new Portuguese artists uh, that passed on Festival da Canção, that went there. Uh, so it's kind of new. The Eurovision thing, it's kind of new to me, but Festival da Canção I'm more familiar with, and I know that every year I'm sure that I will discover a couple of beautiful songs and get to know new interesting artists, and I've already heard the songs, this year's songs.
Yeah.
There are, I don't know, at least from 20 songs, at least six or seven that I find really, really good. It's a lot.
Wow.
It's a lot.
Okay.
It's
So it's
hard
great
choice.
to be, yeah, it's great because you have this opportunity to discover so many new artists as well. And I feel like a lot of the time the music scene in Portugal is also quite small. So a lot of the time you might know some people who were already doing that, or for example. So it must feel like a nice little kind of reconnection, I guess, with the music scene.
Yes, and I already bumped into some friends that I know are working in this year's festival. Uh, there are of course some artists that I already followed, and I was very excited to hear what they would write for
Hmm.
year's edition. And some artists, that is one case this year that is really funny. There is a festival here in Portugal called Termômetro.
Hmm.
A festival for new bands, for very very new bands that have never recorded, and I was invited. They always invite a more experienced musician to open
Hmm.
the 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 stages that of this festival. It's a festival that happened in along, I don't know, 1 or 2 months in different cities.
All right. Okay.
And then I was invited to play in one of these cities as the opening act for that night's contest. And that night I get to know Peculiar. It was
Ah, wow.
Yes, and I watched his show. It was really really interesting, and we talked after his concert a little, and then on the day that they announced the Festival da Canção participants for this year, his name was there, and it was like, oh, I knew this is a new guy that I know.
Yeah.
We've
I
played together once, and
it's
it wa- and it's amazing the to see uh like new projects beginning, from the very seeds, and watch it before anyone else. And now we're playing together in Festival da Canção, and who knows where he will be when we will meet again, in the
exactly, yeah.
years.
And it's all about like this collaboration, which is exactly and the celebration as well of music from Portugal, Brazil, all the sort of Lusophone countries, like all those fantastic opportunities. It's amazing, Um, looking towards the show, obviously you have a few weeks now until the performance. So, how are the preparations going? Or is there anything in terms for the staging that you can reveal, or is everything being kept as a secret right now?
It is. I think I'm supposed to keep a secret about most of the things of the staging, but one thing I can say is that my my main focus on the performance is for people to listen and understand the lyrics and feel the lyrics, the message that I'm singing about. So I did not want for the performance to be distracting in any way.
Yeah.
So there won't be a lot of elements, but of course we have to feel the stage in some way. Uh, and it will be, I don't know, it will be uh, minimalistic.
Yeah.
There won't be fireworks or dancers. You
Yeah.
can expect that from my performance. It would be, it wouldn't even be honest with my previous work, or with my career. That's not my style. It has never been. And I know that when Festival da Canção, when they invite an artist to perform, they invite him or her because of the work we have already done, because of what we are constructing. So
Mhm.
they don't expect us to kind of reinvent completely ourselves just for the festival. So I'm just trying to be myself, do the things that I know how to do and that I feel comfortable doing. And the most important thing for me in general, but especially for this song, is to make the message get through and to make the people listen and understand and feel touched by the words. So this will be the main focus of the performance. And the next 2 weeks, I think the only thing that we still need to finish is a wardrobe. It's our clothes. They're not ready. They're being they're being made. They're being handmade by, and this is interesting. Uh, that we are working with a stylist and two different tailors that are making my suit
Mhm.
and Pri's dress, and they are both immigrants.
Wow.
One is Indian and the other one is Ukrainian.
Oh,
So
wow. Okay.
it's kind of, I thought it was, I didn't think about it, and I don't know if our stylist had this in mind, when she chose the tailors that would make these clothes, but when we went there to take measures and everything, I was kind of I don't know. Well, it's all coming together like small pieces, and everything
Yeah.
makes sense. It's a song about immigration. Me and Pri were Brazilians. We will be wearing clothes that were, made by immigrant hands. It's
It's fate.
yeah,
Exactly.
it's fake.
It's as almost as if it was meant to happen, which is fantastic, you know.
Yeah,
So it sounds like it's really all coming together. I'm really looking forward to seeing how it looks now. It's going to be really,
yeah,
really interesting.
me too.
Yeah. So I mean, if someone obviously you've also like had quite a long career as well. You've released five different albums now, and you're about to release another one now. So what if someone listens to Kane Foy and thinks, oh, this is a really, really good song. I need to check out some more of Luca's work. What would be one song from your previous works that you would recommend that people check out?
I think the first one that I can think about is a song called Acanalhado. Is it is I think it's one of my most listened songs on Spotify, and I have at least two different versions of it. One in one of my first albums from 2017. It's when I wrote it, and me and Pri recorded a new version of it in this our last album with just piano and voice. And it's a romantic song. It's kind of melancholy also, and it's romantic. It has a strong chorus, which is something that I don't usually do. My songs don't usually have chorus, but this one has, and it's a strong one. Uh, I don't know. People usually like this song. It has a uh, I don't know, this melancholy atmosphere, but it's also very, very cozy and intimate. It would be a good song to start listening and start
Yeah.
discovering my previous albums.
Yeah, it sounds like a saudade kind of sort of feeling to it then.
Yeah, yeah, kind of, yeah,
Hmm.
sure.
Okay, sure. Well, I think that sounds like a really good shout. I'll have to get listening to it and put it on my playlist then, definitely. Um, so yeah, just like what would it mean to you then if you managed to win Festival de Canção and then obviously go to represent Portugal at Eurovision with such an impactful song then?
It would be crazy. It would be absolutely crazy. I try not to think about it actually, to be true. I
It
try
is a
not
bit
to
far
think about
away,
it.
so
Because yeah, because it makes me, I don't know, anxious, and uh I think I just want to focus on doing a good performance on Festival da Canção and making this song, I don't know, stand out as I think it deserves to stand out. And uh if this happens, I I I don't know. I'll think about it. I'll figure something out later. But I don't.
we'll
It's
get to
not.
that stage eventually.
Yeah, we'll get there. I really don't know. It will be my life would go upside down,
Hmm.
uh, uh, and and it's kind of too much to expect right now.
Yeah.
I'm kind of frightened also by it.
Don't be frightened. You know, you're a part of the Eurovision family now, so don't worry. You're very well you're very welcomed into this space. You're always welcome here. So
Thank
it's
you. Thank you
fantastic.
very much.
Yeah, and just one final question then. What would be the message that you would give to these people now who will have discovered your music now thanks to Festival de Canção?
Well, uh, I I think I'll just say welcome. It's very nice to meet you. Uh, I know that I'm an artist that works mostly uh, inside the Portuguese language. It is something very, very important for me, as I've said here sometimes, to work with. with language, with words, with lyrics. This is my, these are my tools, and I really cherish the tools that my language, that my mother language gives me. I feel very privileged to be a native Portuguese speaker, and especially a native Brazilian Portuguese speaker. It's a beautiful, rich language, and it can be, if you don't speak Portuguese, it can be an obstacle to understand things. But if you manage to get through this first obstacle, it's absolutely fantastic, fabulous universe to dive in. It to uh, 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 to be in this universe of this very rich universe of Lusophone music, of Lusophone songwriting. And if it's something, if it's an adventure, uh, any listener is willing to take on, uh, they, I, I just want to say, you know, welcome, nice to meet you, enjoy.
Well, fantastic, amazing words there. And as we would say probably in Portuguese, é tão fofinho. So it's fantastic. Well, muito obrigado e boa sorte pela semifinal. It's going to be fantastic to see on the stage everything. I cannot wait to see what you're going to bring. It's going to be an amazing show. I cannot wait to see it. So thank you so much for your time. It's really appreciated.
Thank you,
Thank you. See
Rory.
you later.